Hello and welcome back to The World is Storytelling with me, Ronni. And this episode is quite a long time coming. So before season 2, which as you know, or maybe you don't, you should listen to it if you don't know about it. Season 2 is from the Camino de Santiago in Spain. And the day before I started the Camino, I was staying in a hostel in Oviedo. And there was this really happy, really friendly, really positive British guy there. And I thought, hey, I'd love to have you on the podcast. Now, originally I was thinking that he would be part of the Camino season, but he wasn't doing the Camino. So, that's how this episode kind of ended up slipping slightly underneath, between the, whatever you call it, between the couches, slipping between the something. It's my pleasure to bring you the recording with the fabulous Jack. Enjoy. And before we get going, do you know what a cat's favourite breakfast cereal is? Rice Krispies. That's right. Thank you very much for listening and have a wonderful, wonderful day. So tell the story, one day is true. Yeah. It's subtle, yeah? Are you a subtle person?
I don't think so. I think I'm like in the middle.
Do you think that ever gets in the way of life?
Or being too subtle?
Being too subtle or
medium
not
subtle.
Being medium subtle.
Sometimes. It depends.
I've got to be honest, a medium subtle sounds like a village, doesn't it?
Yeah, in countryside in England,
yeah. Where do you come from? Oh, I'm from medium subtle. Yes, don't you know? So, okay. Yeah. Well, welcome back to The World is Storytelling, and I'm here with Jack.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Do you want your full title?
No, it's too formal. We're on a friends basis now, so I think... not quite yet.
Acquaintance.
So
let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
I think Jack is suitable for the occasion, I think.
Okay. Is it Jacob?
No, it's just Jack.
Just Jack.
Yeah, just Jack.
Okay. That's about the limit of all the questions I thought I'd have. So Jack, tell us a story.
Yes, well, so obviously we met during this trip and I've done some solo travelling. And again, it's one of the first questions you ask is always, what's your name and where you're from? And yeah, for me, I come from a very small village called Windlesham, not Windleham, Windlesham.
It's next to Middle Subtle, is it?
Yes, it's right next to Middle Subtle, yeah. Mm-hmm. So you got Bagshot, Lightwater, Middle Subtle, and then Windlesham. Basically, it's pretty small, nice, irrelevant place. Brian May lives there, that's about it.
He's your dad, right?
Yes. We go to the pub like most nights, and yeah. I mean, you see, I've got crazy hair, so kind of take it after him. Last summer in August, my brother and I, shout out to William, we went to Colombia together on a trip for 1 month. It was a trip of a lifetime. I absolutely loved it. Great people, great landscapes. And we went to this one place called Salento, which is, I don't know, maybe 6 hours away from the capital. And it's known for its coffee, so you can do coffee tours, or you can also hike in the mountains. So we went on this hike through the rainforest. We were hiking for maybe 2 hours. And then I think we took a wrong turning. We kind of got lost up we're kind of scrambling up mud. It was like chucking it down with rain. Scrambling up mud, and we're thinking, yeah, this isn't right, and we didn't really know where we were going. And out of the blue, this lovely girl starts walking down the mountain, and as can often happen when you're traveling, you know who's English and who's not. It's quite obvious. We're like, you're like, yeah, you're definitely English. She's like, yeah. I say you guys as well. We're like, yeah, it's very easy. So we started chatting, and basically, she had done this 2 hour trip further on and then 2 hours back to get to the same point where we were at. Basically 2 hours to realise she couldn't continue without a tour guide. So 4 hours of wasted walking. I was like, that's impressive. And she still had a beaming smile on her face. So it's kind of testament to her character. So we started talking. We're like, whereabouts are you from? Again, the classic question after the name. And she said, I'm from Hertfordshire. And she asked the same question of us, where are you from? And again, my immediate panic answer is, we're from sort of Surrey, so near Ascot, near Windsor. And she said, I actually know Surrey quite well. Where is that in particular? We're like, do you know Camberley and Bagshot? She's like, yeah, I know those. So we're actually from Windlesham. And what she said next was probably the most startling thing I've ever heard. And she turns around to us. I think she's only 2 years older than me. And she goes, yeah, I know Windlesham because I was born in Windlesham. And honestly, we're on a audio, platform, so it's hard to see my face. But genuinely, like my brother and I, like our faces dropped. We were like, huh? Shocked, absolutely shocked. Couldn't believe it. I wasn't born in Windlesham. My brother wasn't born in Windlesham. No one is born in Windlesham. Her mum was a midwife, so she decided to have a home birth, and at the time they resided in Windlesham. There's this Chinese proverb which during this trip I've kind of been thinking about a lot. So the idea of an invisible red thread. So it connects those who are destined to meet regardless of time, place, or circumstance. The thread may stretch or tangle, but will never break. And I think it kind of ties into that story.
That is quite a lovely idea. I mean, this whole podcast is about storytelling, and often in story we think of this idea of a red thread which runs through a story, but this idea of an invisible red thread which runs through all our stories is very powerful. I mean, you had any other of these interesting invisible red thread moments?
Again, in a similar fashion, I'm a big football fan, Spurs fan, unfortunately, so...
Well, could be worse.
Could be worse, but could be a lot better. But we went to a football game, so Atletico Nacional, which is one of the teams in Medellin. So we went to the game on the Thursday, had a great time. I think they won like 2-0. So it was, and then one of my friends that I went to school with for 7 years, he posted on his Instagram story of him at the game on Monday. So they had, I think it's 2 league games a week sometimes. And I texted him. I said, oh, Hector, are you in Colombia at the moment? I thought that is the exact same, green and white kit. I thought that's the one. And it took him about a week to reply. And I'm guessing because in Medellin, my brother can testify, it kind of breaks you. There's a lot of partying. It's a lot of fun. So you might not be on your phone as much. Yeah. And basically, Hector replies a week later and he goes, yes, I actually am in Colombia, just very nonchalant, very relaxed. And I said, oh, amazing, where are you at the moment? And he said, I'm in Minca. And Minca is this lovely town up in in the mountains, kind of rainforesty. And it turned out that whilst he was in Minca, I was also in Minca at the exact same time. So I said, bro, we need to meet up, let's have a drink, something like that. So we met up in the evening. Yeah. And again, it's the same thing I think with school friends. You spend so much time with them, and even though I hadn't seen them in 5 years, nothing changed. It was that beautiful exact feeling. And what makes this story, I think, even crazier is the fact that during school, one day we were in the same class during school as well. My mum was going down the people in my class, and she looked at, oh yeah, Hector. So that surname rings a bell. And it turns out that my mum and Hector's parents both went to Cardiff University together, and I think if I'm correct, they lived together for about 1 year, maybe 2 years. Yeah. So yeah, that invisible red thread, it's although you're people that you haven't yet to meet, also some that you have met, you might just be pulled back to them just for a little bit. And I think it's incredible.
Wow.
ASMR, sorry.
Rarely have I heard someone drinking water in such a grotesque way. I'm going to need a minute to...
Thank you.
Yeah, it means a lot, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, talking about these invisible red threads, it's there's so many that have happened in my life too, and you just think to yourself, how on earth is this happening, and does this happen at this moment? And it's just, I think, testament to the way, to the connectivity of all of us, how things just happen and how we're drawn, whether it's with a look, whether it's a sound, to people that we may possibly know. It's quite fascinating.
So basically, I spent my Erasmus year at university just outside of Barcelona. So obviously, very nice to go into Barcelona to have a night out. Yep. One of the best things about Barcelona, obviously, is it has a beach. The constant debate between people from Barcelona and people from Madrid is that Madrid, although it's amazing, does not have that beach. One night, so I'm with my flat, we go into Barcelona and we go to one of the clubs, and a lot of the clubs are on the beaches. One of the best things is, once you've had enough with the club, there's a lot of people, a lot of music, you can just take your drunken self and just lie on the beach, and it's quality, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I was there with two of my friends, and we were just like, you know, very drunk, just sort of like lying, just absolutely starfished on the beach, and it's, you know, it's nice and warm, it's a pleasant evening, the sun is just starting to come through, and I'm looking up at the sky, I'm thinking, oh, this is a beautiful evening, this is lovely. And to me, I see a shooting star, and I'm like, holy shit, there's this shooting star that came flying through. And I told my mate Brandon, I said, Brandon, look at that shooting star. And he was like, bro, that is crazy. Now, there's Brandon, there's myself, and we're both very drunk.
Yeah.
Then there's my lovely good friend Alana, who she was sober as you like, and she goes, Jack and Brandon, that was not a shooting star, that was a seagull. Yeah, and Brandon and I were devastated. So, yeah, moral of the story, if you're on a beach and you see a shooting star, it's probably a seagull. Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah. It could only have been better if the shooting star would have shot on your face.
Yes, that would have been incredible.
Oh, I hope that happens to you soon.
Yeah, to be fair, I've been shouting a lot during this trip as well.
That's why it's been such a good time.
By birds and by people. No, not by people. No.
Well, I mean, you got to pay for that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these days, but birds is usually free. Well, Brandon. Jack, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you so much for coming on. Lovely to meet you, and I hope you have many, many more awesome experiences travelling and finding this invisible red thread and making it visible for a moment in time.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Some say the old ruins in the sand tell us every story will come to an end. But my dear, we can live what we tell. We are storytelling animals.